Thanks for coming to J&N Travels podcast with your hosts John and Nancy.
Hi.
We will discuss everything travel, including cruising, Disney World, other general travel, snowbirding tips, trivia, and other fun things.
I would like to make a special announcement. Most of the comments that we have received are that the majority of listeners prefer an audio podcast opposed to one with a lot of video. The main reasons given are that they like to listen while doing house chores, driving, or walking, which makes a lot of sense. Please put any comments below or email us at j&ntravels@yahoo.com.
Nancy, we like to start our podcast off with you giving some light trivia questions. Today we have 3 Disney trivia questions. What are they?
Okay, the first question is, which popular Disney song made its debut in the film Pinocchio?
Which popular Disney song made its debut in the film Pinocchio? I think I know this is a very popular song. What's number 2?
Which one was the first live-action Disney remake to receive a PG-13 rating?
So the first Disney remake, live action, and it got a PG-13 rating. Okay, I can guess a couple there. And your third question?
What Disney character makes a cameo as a stuffed animal in Frozen?
What Disney character makes a cameo as a stuffed animal in Frozen? Again, I have a few guesses, but I'm not sure. Okay, thanks, Nancy. And Nancy will give you the answers to these Disney trivia questions at the end of our podcast. So today we're going to take a walk around Universal Studios, and this is the original studios, the first park that Universal opened up in Orlando, Florida. We got an annual pass, so we did both this and Islands Adventure quite a bit, Nance. And let's just kind of show the way we walked around Universal Studio. Now, we started out in January, so we just did the park. As we moved into February and March, we went to see the Mardi Gras parade numerous times, catching beads. We even were lucky enough to ride on the float.
Yeah, that was amazing. We were very lucky to get that slot. Somebody canceled and we slid in.
Yeah, and that was last minute. We had 6 minutes to get from where we were to the parade area, or they would have gotten the next person on the list.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun for 2 months. And then as we got into the last month we were there, that parade switched to the Universal Movie Parade.
Oh,
which
yeah,
great
that's a great parade.
That was with floats based on the different movies that Universal put out.
Yeah, we were lucky to see that twice.
So we saw that. We have yet to see the laser show. We kind of saw a little bit through the trees when we first got to Universal, but when they did the parades, they canceled or they didn't run the laser show, water show. So this is now a walkthrough on the Universal Park. When you get to Universal or Islands Adventure, you have to park in the parking garage. At the time we went, it was $32, but since we had an annual pass, that was part of the ticket. You walk through Cityside, you take a right and go right by the old Voodoo Donuts at Cityside and into Universal Park.
Yeah, we have yet to indulge in Voodoo Donuts, but we plan to on our return in January.
Right. So we walked into the park, and this is not laid out as conveniently as Islands Adventure. This is kind of spread around. Because when we first went to this many years ago, this was a working movie theater, movie park. And they actually filmed stuff here. Now I don't think they do anything on the lot, but they do have all the theme rides. So you go into the studio and you're on the main drag, and your first right is Hollywood. So we'll go up Hollywood first, Nancy. At this point, they had replaced. Remember way back when there was an I Love Lucy?
Yeah, I like that a lot because I love I Love Lucy.
But they replaced it with Wicked, which Nancy
Yeah, Wicked
enjoyed.
was nice. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
That was with.
My favorite was I Love Lucy. I'll always like that.
What was in the
display.
Wicked building?
They had props like from the dresses that the actresses wore, and
Any
had-
backdrops, or they had like the brooms and different things, right? That they use in the movie.
Yep.
So that was a walkthrough. You go in one door, you walk through the whole thing, walk out the other. We did that a handful of times. Then you're back on into the Hollywood area. You walk up the street and you pass the Born Legacy Stunt Show.
Oh, that was good.
One of my favorite shows at any parks. This is a combination stunt show
That was
with
great.
4K special effects, action. Great show, right?
We've seen it 4 times.
Yeah, I think that was the final count. So that was a lot of fun. We saw that. You keep on walking up there, and this is where we came across most of the characters that we posed for in pictures. Remember up that road, there was a Simpsons, there was Scooby Doo group,
Marilyn.
Marilyn, Betty Boop,
And don't forget Doc Brown.
yeah, from the and Beetlejuice,
And Beetlejuice.
right?
Yeah.
So there's a handful of characters up there that we saw different days and would pose for pictures. After you pass the Born Legacy Stunt Show, there's a like a horror show, right? It was a horror the makeup show.
Yes, it was called the Makeup and Horror Show, and that was fabulous.
And that was a combination of some humor and showing the makeup and
Yeah, I thought it was very well done.
the way Universal approached horror films back in the past and in the present. That was a very entertaining show. We saw
Yeah,
that twice.
did. It was entertaining for sure.
It was a little different both times because they had two different people playing the lead role. And so they did a little bit of their own humor too. So that was a lot of fun. And then we started passing by the lake there, where they used to have a boat show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Now it's a laser. They actually had drones, but right now the drones are on hold because it was an injury last year. But they have got the permits to run that again. So that should be something maybe we'll get to see
I
on our
hope so.
return. Now you turn into Dreamsworks Land, which is up the
Yeah.
road. Now this was to replace. It used to be called Woody Woodpecker's play area for kids. And I had to remember the Curious George,
Oh, I love that.
Water,
I did like Curious George.
Bonnie the
Oh
dinosaur.
my goodness, our daughter got to see Bonnie when she was 4. Yeah, that was good.
So now it was themed with Dreamsworks characters. You'd walk in. The first thing you passed was a store, really greatly themed for SpongeBob.
Oh yes, that was great.
And we actually got a picture with not SpongeBob, but the
Patrick
Patrick and the
and
Squidward, right?
Squidward. Yeah.
That they run different characters in there each time. And then you pass the ET ride, which is the only original ride in the area. We went on that several times just for nostalgia.
Yeah, it's still a good ride.
Then the rest of the land was geared towards kids. There was a troll roller coaster, which was rethemed to the trolls. Originally, it was Woody Woodpecker.
Right.
We rode that a couple times. They had a show that replaced the Monty show, which was the DreamWorks characters. You know,
That show. That was very good.
it
Yeah.
was it was the Kung Fu Panda
Yeah.
and the trolls, and who else was in that?
Um,
The one from that jungle. I forget what the movie was,
yeah, I'm not sure
but
the
there were a bunch of
character's name.
characters in that show. That was entertaining.
Yeah, it was.
They had the training area that you could go for kung fu for the kids and different things there that geared to a much younger age. So if you have young kids, that's the spot to head to. So if you head out of DreamWorks now and take a right, you head through Springfield, which is the home of The Simpsons,
Yeah.
and that was quite entertaining. It was like a whole little town. They had the donut shop, and they had
Like a carnival.
yeah the bar there. I guess they're famous for that Duff beer.
Yeah, you can get Duff Beer there.
It's the
Yeah.
only place you can get it. They serve it there, and everything's themed. They turn the Back to the Future ride into a Simpsons ride,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a 3D cartoon ride,
Yeah.
and that takes over. And then there was that Alien ride, which
Yeah.
is similar to the One Fish, Two Fish, or Dumbo, those type of rides.
Yeah.
Goes around the circle and you go up and down on it, but it was geared with aliens. Once you pass out of Springfield, you hit an area. I think that's where they had the live animal shows,
That's correct.
and that was fun. They had the different dog. Let's see, well, actually, quite a few that they had for one stunts, like the different birds and the pig and the
Yeah, I like
dogs
that
and
show.
stuff.
We saw it twice, I believe. It was good.
And that was entertaining. A live animal show. After we left Springfield in the area where they had the live animal show, we're at the back of the lake or the far end of the park. At this point, we go to Men in Black. I think we only did that a couple times.
Yeah, I believe it was only twice.
That's an older ride. It's fun. It's it's a target. You ride in the car and shoot at aliens.
Yeah,
That's the whole premise of it. And then once you get over the bridge for Men in Black, you're now in an area which is dedicated to Harry Potter.
amazing.
Well, this was built differently than the one over in Islands of Adventure. You'd had the fake buildings that you would bang on the doors and stuff. They had special effects
Yeah,
and different, I think, creatures or people would pop out of the windows up top.
yeah,
So
it
that
was
was kind
cool.
of a cutesy thing.
Yeah,
They had the double decker bus out on display and the
yeah.
fountain from the movie. But it's not advertised, but you go through a secret, kind of a secret area, passageway, and it looks like you're going to a small area, and there's an enormous
Oh,
themed Harry Potter area behind it.
amazing. Yeah.
The shops, everything's seen themed to Harry Potter, the shops, the wands, the tried on many robes,
Addicted to those robes. They're wonderful. I
and
loved them.
then the big ride they had back there, which was Harry Potter and the Escape from the Gringotts. This is the one based on the dragon, right?
Yeah,
They have a dragon that is timed. It's not a set time. Every now and then he'll breathe fire, and everyone's standing there with their cameras ready to take the picture of the breathing dragon, which
yeah.
lasts about 3 seconds. And then this ride, which was a lot of fun. Um, a lot of special effects, a lot of good animatronics.
Oh, the animatronics, they were so lifelike. Oh my gosh. I love all that.
So you enjoyed that ride.
I did. I was just a little scared because it is a roller coaster and it does dip a little. Like it, that part I didn't like. It wasn't a big dip, but it's just a little dip. But I didn't like that part, but I liked the ride.
So that was another great themed Harry Potter ride. So we did that one. That's the only ride back there. They also had the show area back there and the restaurant back there. And that's actually we got where we got one of our butter beers. There was a bar set up outside that had a huge line for butterbeer, and if you just go around the corner, this is a little tip. There's a place that looks like a bar. You go
Looks
in,
like a
and there's
bar.
no
There
line.
was no lines.
So that's what you do if you want your butterbeer. So now we leave the uh, Harry Potter area, and we're gonna move down to. I think you come to the train station. Remember the train station
Yeah,
that we explained in the Islands of Adventure video? There is a train that runs from Islands of Adventure to Universal, and from Universal back to Islands of Adventure. The train leaves from both the Harry Potter lands. It's themed with special effects. You sit in a cabin that's like a train cabin, and the window is a whole visual 3D show with Harry Potter themed scenes.
yeah, it's well done.
So that was fun. And once you leave that, you're out of the Harry Potter land. You go down, continue down the road. You're going through where the old Jaws ride was, the Amityville. There's some restaurants there. You're on the waterfront. We ate a lot at that Seismic. Was that what it was called?
Yeah,
Restaurant?
yeah, we got our truffle fries.
Yeah.
They were
It's the thing that
delicious.
Nancy got addicted
I
to.
got addicted to those truffle fries. I really liked them.
Then you came across the Fast and Furious Supercharged show, which is another 4K. Universal used a lot of these. They used it on the King Kong. This was a 4K that they used was Fast and Furious. It gave you the feeling that you were in a car racing against the bad guys or the
Huh.
good guys, whoever they may be. Um, so we did that. Didn't really love that.
It's
We
okay,
did a
but
couple times. Continued down the street, and we hit. Well, there was a lot of things down the street. One thing was if you kept on going down by the water, you would hit the Transformer show. Now, the Transformer show was very much like the Spider-Man 3D show
it was.
with a different theme.
Yeah.
This was a darker one. The characters were darker and it's harder to follow.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
was okay, but it was no Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's fantastic.
So as you leave the Transformers and you head back over towards the main road, you hit the Revenge of the Mummy ride, which I enjoyed a lot more this time. Did you like that ride?
Yes, I did. It was a little rickety, but I liked it.
Great theming, good
Yeah, the theming was great.
animatronics. Very short though,
Yeah,
very short
it is
ride.
short.
In that same area, there's on one of the side streets, they have the Blue Brothers come several times a day and do a show. They also have some Spanish dancing, would you say?
Latino.
Latino
Yeah.
dancing out on the main street, which is very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was
Some very
very, very good.
talented dances. And then when you get down to the end of the street, you hit the race through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon. That was a 3D ride,
Yeah,
which I didn't hear great things about, but we actually enjoyed it. I thought
we
it was
did.
better than advertised.
And then we got to sit up front for one of the times we rode it, and that was a different experience. I liked that the best.
And that's one of the things Nancy mentioned I'll recommend. If you can do a ride multiple times, do it and sit in different spots because we definitely got a different impression on 3D rides, roller coaster rides, everything you would do
Hmm.
from the different seats. Now, to make this walk a little easier, we're going to jump from here and go right back to the main entrance and come in again. And where we came in the main entrance the first time and took a right where Wicked was and went up Hollywood, we're going to keep going straight. So if you keep going straight now, coming in the main entrance, you have the biggest souvenir shop, merchandise store in the park on your left, all sorts of stuff. And then on your right, you come across a villains video game. We hated this the very first time.
Yeah,
You get guns, it's like a laser shooting game, and you just stand up on a conveyor belt, but we could never tell what we were shooting at.
right.
We on the second and third time, maybe the fourth time, we started realizing where the targets were, and turned out to be a much better experience. It's
It
still
was
not
more
great, but
enjoyable,
more
let's put it
enjoyable,
that
right?
way.
So that and right across the street from that, that was the villains that you see in the Minions. Right across the street from that was a Minions 3D show. Now we go back a long way. We remember this Minion show when it was a Hanna-Barbera show with
Yeah,
Yogi Bear and Scooby Doo, and then
yeah,
became a Jimmy Neutron show.
yep.
It's right along the same lines, except the theming is all
It
Minions.
was good.
You keep going now past the Minions. On the right side's a cupcake shop and some restaurants. On the left side's a big open area that has fake grass, artificial grass, and what they use in a big stage. Now, we didn't see this used at all while we were there for the whole 4 months, but what they do is they run concerts here, especially if you go during the Mardi Gras on the weekends, you can actually see live concerts on this stage. We use it to sit down and eat lunch, but that's about it. So right behind the stage, there was the biggest roller coaster at this particular park was called the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, and this is a roller coaster. I think we had ranked it second on the thrill factor on our list on a video. This is going to supposedly be replaced in the fall, in the fall, I guess it is this year. So you continue down there. I did try it once. And if you continue down the road, you go to a place called Central Park that's usually loaded with different places to eat during the Mardi Gras. And across the street from that is the race through New York, which we had ended up before. Can you think of any rides, Nance, I missed or any spots that should be pointed out?
I don't think you missed anything.
We do recommend, besides the main attractions, you try and hit the parades. We enjoy both the Mardi Gras parade and the movie parade. And hopefully we'll get to see the laser show at some point.
It's well worth the money. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think there was going to be enough for me to do because I'm not a big thrill ride person, but I loved all the rides that I did do, and I love the Harry Potter, you know, themes, and the Harry Potter rides were amazing.
So hopefully this will give you a little insight for Universal Studios. This is the original park, and hopefully you'll have a successful, enjoyable trip. So Nancy, for our segment number 2 today, we're going to deal with our snowbirding. We finished year 4, 2025, and we're just going to give a summary. Maybe some of you people listening that will help you make decisions once you go out to Florida long term like us. Now, our snowbirding this year was a total of 4 months, correct?
Yep.
The first week was the very beginning of January, and we went down the East Coast and spent time a week in the Titusville area.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
If you want the details of what we did there, which was, the Space Center and Cocoa
Village,
Village and
Merritt Island.
Rhode Island and the zoo there.
Oh yeah, the zoo. I highly recommend the
If
Brevet
you
Zoo.
want more details on that, look at our videos. Plenty of videos on that stuff. But that was the first week. As we drove the second week of January, we drove across the state and about midway through the state and stopped at Orlando, where we spent the rest of our time until the end of April. We have stayed in the same place for 3 years, called Blue Heron Resort. This time we stayed, a lot of times we've divided it with other resorts, but this time we stayed there for the whole time. The only glitch was right in the middle, there was a miscue with Airbnb, and they gave away the week in the very middle of our 4 months. Remember that?
Yeah,
We had to shift to a different condo, same resort, for a week.
yeah, a little inconvenient, but we managed.
And then we switched back up to our original one. So
Yeah.
that's what we did this time. We have booked this for this upcoming 2026 snowbirding in the same unit for the whole time. So that'd be the first time we've actually spent the whole winter, the whole snowbirding time in the same place. So that will be that will be fun. The way we broke down our 4 months this year, and it varies every year. This year we spent 1 or 2 days a week volunteering at Give Kids a World, which we'll talk about a little later. We spent 1 or 2 days in the theme park. Now, last year we bought, or 2 years ago, we bought an annual pass for Disney. This year we bought the annual pass for Universal. That was a lot of fun.
You know, I wasn't sure I was going to like Universal, but boy, do I really liked it. It had been 20 years since I've been there. And I absolutely fell in love with the Harry Potter rides and theming. It was great. It was just all fantastic. The rides were great, and I had a blast.
Now we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But the big thing with that is we bought the pass about midway through January, which brings us to midway through January in 2026. So we're hoping to get down there with a week or two left and on the annual pass. And that way we'll be able to go in and see the theme parks, the Universal theme parks, for the first time during the holiday season,
Yeah.
which we've never done. We did it with Disney, but we've never done it with Universal.
And with Universal, we were there for Mardi Gras, so that was really, really fun.
So that's what we hope to do later on this year. The other thing, we spent the day usually doing something in the area, either take a walk or go to local stores or gift stores, different things like that. We would spend the day doing. And then the rest of the time we would spend at the pool. There's a beautiful big pool here that's heated. When we got down there the middle of January, we were still able to swim every day.
Yes, it was wonderful.
The only days we didn't, if the air was so cold and we didn't
Hmm.
want to get out of the pool and walk from the pool to the condo. So that's how we broke down our weeks. Is there anything that you're throwing in? The location of this place was right next to a little strip mall, which had a Dollar Tree and a couple of restaurants. And across the street, there were several fast food places within walking distance, and our favorite little restaurant, which is the Golden Corral.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful.
So a lot of the stuff we would cover on our feet, and then we took walks down to we're right on. This place is located right on Lake Bryan. Our
Oh, yeah.
balcony overlooked it. Once again, we have 4 videos out there, I think, on our Blue Heron adventure. If you're interested in the resort itself, please look at those videos and may make you decide if you ever want to stay there or not. Can you think of anything else that we did at the Blue Heron that
Well, I
we
just want to
added?
mention that they have a nice hot tub there as well that you can enjoy. Besides the pool, they have a fairly large hot tub and a little, you know, uh, food shack that you can get food and pizza and drinks. So, very convenient. Very, if you don't feel like cooking, they sell all kinds of fast food items and alcoholic beverages.
And there's not a ton. This is a smaller property. I mean, there's a walking trail that takes you right near the water. There's the hot tub. There's a swimming pool. There's an arcade.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get tennis courts or pickleball machines.
No,
Some
you
will
don't
be
have
out there
that there. Yeah, you don't have that there, but it's really quite lovely there.
The other thing we discovered for the first time, well, friends of ours have shown us, is the resort next door has a little pond and it's
Yeah.
loaded with turtles.
Yeah, you could feed the turtles. Yeah, take a nice
Feed the
little walk and
turtles.
feed the turtles.
So that's that was what we did when we first moved to Orlando. Now, to break it down a little bit more, like I told you, we told you the day trips and the resort itself. We spent 1 to 2 days a week at Give Kids a World for 4 months. That's something we're going to do again in 2026. In fact, we've already signed up for some places there. But to break down some of the stuff we did, Give Kids a World, that is a charitable organization. It's an offshoot of Make a Wish, right? And it grants kids who are ill and their families a week. And the theme parks will donate tickets to their parks, and there's all so everything's paid for. It's a little whimsical village, and just to give you an idea of some of the stuff we do. When we first arrive, it's all decked out in Christmas lights.
Oh, so pretty. Yeah, all the whimsical houses have lights, so it looks like a enchanted village. It's 89 acres, so it's quite impressive when you ride around and you see all the houses decorated with pretty lights. Very, very lovely.
And they seem to put the lights up in the middle of the fall, and they seem to not to take them down till maybe the end of February at least, right, or
I
March.
think March,
So
yeah.
you get almost 6 months of these lights.
Yeah,
For
it's
people
very
to
nice.
see these lights. I'm not sure that I'd take them down at all. I would just leave them up year round. So you go in and they have a lot of decorations for Christmas. So that's a nice time of year to be at the Give Kids a World Village. We go in there and we usually sign up, like I said, twice a week. Some of the stuff we did this past year was the carousel, and that's where Nancy and I will actually work the carousel. One of us will work the gate, and the other one will work the actual motion of the carousel. You help the kids on and off. You make sure that all the safety things are in priority. So that was a fun one. We like doing the
Yeah, I like
carousel.
doing the carousel a lot. It's fun.
There's a place called Noah's Nook, which is a snack bar, one of our favorite places to work, which is right at the swimming pool,
Yep.
serving all sorts of little things for the families. It's included, the Slurpees, the popcorn, drinks,
Nachos.
nacho, stuff like that. Then there's the Wonder Lab. That's was brand new to us this year.
Yeah, that just opened up, I think, a few months before we got down there.
I think it's still less than a year old.
Yeah, I think so.
What that is they have two events that they hold in there a day, and you basically the kids can come in like we've run one where you teach them how to do little clips on video with a green screen.
Yeah, it's called stop motion. That was fun.
No, that's a separate one.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
separate.
So the
Okay.
green screen was one. Then there's a separate day they did stop motion, which is
Okay.
of course where you move a item just a little bit in each frame, and then it comes together with a movie like the old cartoons
Yeah,
were made. They have
yeah.
different kind of paper airplanes in
Buttons,
one room. They have bright buttons that you can wear that made another one. So those are four different ones.
Lego bricks.
The bricks, which is you put the bricks onto you put them down and then you stamp them. So you make a certain pattern. Uh, so those are Wonder Lab. Another thing we worked is Clayton's Cafe, which is serving food.
Yeah.
We like that one. Um, the castle.
Yeah, castle's fun too. You get to interact with the kids through a little story about buttons,
They
and the kids get their special pillow.
Right. They can come in the castle and there's all these arts and crafts they can do, and then there's little hands-on things but the main thing is that the kids come in, each child gets a star there's thousands of stars all over the inside of the castle. They get their own star, which is put up, and they come back and visit that year after year. And like Nancy said, the other thing is each child in the family gets a pillow,
Yeah.
and it's a little presentation, and we go behind the scenes and make sure the pillow comes out the tree so they have their pillows. So that's what you do in the castle. This time, for the first time, we ran they have some kiddie rides,
Yeah,
like two or three kiddie rides, a train, and a couple other things. We ran that this year once. Are those about it for this year? The things I did the shuttle, which
yeah, you
is
did the shuttle this year. Yeah.
extended
Um,
golf cart, which drives people around the village. And I think that was all the things we did this particular year. There again, there were videos out there that show the different jobs there, the different jobs we did. Take a look at that if you're interested. And I think that was it for the cast, for the Give Kids a World.
I believe so.
So
Yes.
then we move on to the last thing we did, which was a couple days a week, was Universal Studios, the theme park.
Oh, yes.
We did Disney last year, and this year we did Universal. Universal has the three parks now. Now the third park, Epic Universe, did open up the last month down there. We chose not to go because we had the season pass for the Islands of Adventure and Universal. I don't know if we will do that next year or not, but we had a lot of fun at the theme parks. You want to give a quick overview of the theme parks?
Well, I was, happy because it was Mardi Gras and we got to see the Mardi Gras parade. And lucky for us, we actually got to be in one of the floats and we got to throw out the beads. So that
Right.
was special. But every time I saw the parade, it was just so much fun catching the beads, seeing the parade. It was a lot of fun. And of course, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan because I never read the books and I never saw the movies. So I did start to see the movies prior to us going to Disney, I mean, Universal. And, I thought they were really cool, even though I didn't quite understand them. But I fell in love with Harry Potter. My God, the rides, the theming, everything.
Yeah, the lands are incredible. Each of the three parks has an area dedicated to Harry Potter with attractions, and they're even if you're not familiar with Harry Potter like us, they were really well done,
Very well
and we
done.
enjoyed those.
Yeah.
The Mardi Gras, like Nancy said, one of the things we did is we went to the parade probably about six times. We were in it once, and we collected the beads. They throw them out, and all the beads we caught, we were giving out at the Give Kids a World.
Yeah,
So that
that
was
was good.
we have enough now to cover us for a couple of years. I think we got caught over 400 of
Oh my
those.
gosh, we caught so many. It was so much fun. Yeah.
And in the parks divided. You go to City Walk, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, City Walk, not City Park. City Walk, and one direction, if you go right, is Universal Studio, which you heard the walkthrough on the segment before this. And if you listen to last week's or our last podcast, we did a walk around Islands of Adventure.
Yeah,
It'd be easy to listen to those and me go through the parks again. But both of those were a lot of fun.
they were.
And we had our daughter-in-law and son come down for a week, and we did the parks four times
Yeah, it was
with
great.
them. So that
We
was a
did
lot
all
of
the
fun.
rides.
Yeah.
We got them all in.
The other thing you forget is that, which I like a lot, we love resort hopping at Disney, and we hadn't done resort hopping in 20 years at
Yeah,
Universal.
we hadn't been there in 20 years, so
So we did it once alone and once with some friends of ours that
yeah,
we took in. Basically, went to City Walk. Right in the middle, there's the place where you can get on the boat. But we chose, so we did get on the boat. We took it upstream
yeah.
to visit two of the hotels, which were the
Royal Pacific
Royal
and
Pacific,
Sapphire
Sapphire
Falls.
Falls. And then from Sapphire Falls, which is the furthest away, we walked from there all the way back down past the boat dock and City Walk and past the two parks and walked to first was Hard Rock
Yeah,
Hotel
Hard Rock Hotel is the first one.
and ended up our walk. And this is all right along the water with beautiful
Yeah,
flowers.
beautiful scenery. Yeah,
Ended up at Portofino,
that's so pretty there.
walked around that. And then to come back, we get on the boat at Portofino both times
Yep.
and took the boat right back to the middle of City Walk, which then we got off and were able to walk around City Walk and then back to our car. So that in itself was a great adventure.
Yeah, it was a great day. The weather was gorgeous and the scenery's pretty. I mean, the foliage is, the landscaping, excuse me, the landscaping is so pretty.
And we're hoping to do that one more time so we can see all the decorations at the hotels when we go back for 2026. So we'll see what happens with that whole thing. So that's kind of a quick synopsis of our 2026 snowbirding. If you have questions, put them in the comments or send us an email at j&ntravels@yahoo.com. We thank you for joining us. and hope to see you again here next time.
That's right. And remember, stay young and have fun.
So, Nance, we're now at the end of another podcast, and people are waiting breathlessly for your answers to the 3 Disney trivia.
Okay, the first question, which popular Disney song made its debut in the film Pinocchio?
Yeah,
What's your
I'm
guess?
guessing When You Wish Upon a Star, because you hit it everywhere.
It is When You Wish Upon a
Okay,
Star.
so that one I got at least right. And the second trivia question?
Which was the first live-action Disney remake to receive a PG-13 rating?
And that's a tough one. I'm thinking one of the ones that had a lot of action or violence in it, right? So I don't know. There's a few that fit that. What is the answer?
It's Mulan.
Mulan. Okay, that would have been one of the ones on my list, but I didn't get the exact one. Okay, and the last trivia question:
What Disney character makes a cameo as a stuffed animal in Frozen?
what Disney character makes a cameo as a stuffed animal in Frozen? I have no clue on this. I can't even picture what scene they would use this. What is the character?
Mickey Mouse, and I have no clue as to what scene
So
it was
maybe one
in.
of the girls was sleeping, and instead of a teddy bear, she was hugging a Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
doll, I
I'll have to
guess.
look that when I see the movie again. I'll have to be aware of it.
Okay, well, thanks for those fun trivia,
You're
Nance.
welcome.
Thanks for coming to J&N Travels Podcast with your host, John and Nancy.
Hi.